Heedly, hardly, hodly, heedly, hoodly. It's me, Rick.
Ciao, it's Millie.
Surely I've gone too far in this episode 37
37
of season 3 of
Yonks
Ago. I'm really testing you out, just seeing what you roll the punches. I can't be stopped. This is Yonks Ago, coming into your ears. Now what are yonks? They're kinda like years. Just a father and a daughter who want to know all about some people from Yonks Ago. Interesting people who did interesting stuff, but about whom we don't know enough. So we're gonna dig deep and find it all out. Yonky doodlers know what we're all about. Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, surely. Oh, all right.
You said like every single vowel in that opening.
I'm just trying to see what I can get away with, you know. I thought maybe I should bring myself back into line after, a unspoken chastisement last episode. And I thought, no, this time I'll do a sensible, by-the-book introduction, but something within me snapped.
I respect, I respect.
I went, not today.
It really took me off guard. I forgot every single Italian word that I've ever learnt.
But you got there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm not fact-checking your Italian. Who knows what you said? You probably said, shut up, Dad, in Italian. And I'm like, hey, 37. But I've got it coming to me, really. You can say what you like, because I've gone.
Not sure what that was. He's gone rogue.
Yeah, I've gone rogue.
Off the rails.
I have thrown the rule book out the window. And I didn't even open the window first.
Smash the window.
I've got to pay for the replacement of the window.
Yeah.
So in many ways, foolish mistake on my behalf.
What can you do?
Sometimes you've got to throw caution to the wind.
Yeah, it's true.
And throw the book out the window. And I've done that. And
how do you feel?
Liberated.
Nice.
Liberated. But where will it end, Millie?
Yeah.
You
what
know?
are the consequences for your actions today?
Was this the natural conclusion of my rogue introductions? Or is this the beginning?
The butterfly effect, you just changed the course of our entire lives.
And we'll have to find out next episode if it's just more and more, ever more.
Taylor Swift?
This whole podcast could be nothing but introduction.
Yeah. Ooh.
Before we know it. It's just me saying higgity, higgity, hoobity, hubba, 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 you, ha, higgity, hey, higgity, hoo.
Whoa. Wait,
higgity, bing, bong, bow.
No spoilers, Dad.
That's just a bit of sizzle.
A bit of sizzle, yeah.
Well, of the 15 minutes introduction that's coming at you real soon.
Uh-huh.
No regrets.
No. I don't. I live without regrets.
Do you?
No.
Oh, you regretted saying that instantly.
No, I just like to lie.
Good to know about you.
Yeah, so you never know if you actually know a fact about me or not.
I mean, that pretty much sums up this podcast.
Yeah, you could be like, yeah, Millie likes to live with no regrets. Nah, I just lied to you.
But we don't know if you saying that you're lying is the lie.
Exactly.
We'll never know.
That's what I'm saying. I live in layers.
And I cannot take you to task on that. I cannot try to be like, Millie.
You don't know what's in my head.
In terms of parenting, I can't say that's not really the good way to live, because this whole podcast, I basically encouraged you to bend fact into fiction at your leisure.
Yeah.
With no fear of consequence.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I encourage it. Fiction is just a fact waiting to happen.
Exactly.
As far as I'm concerned.
Well, technically, fiction is a fact because it still exists. Do you know
Once it
mean?
exists, who's to know? Who's to say?
Exactly. It is factually there.
Yeah. If you can say it, you can be it.
Yeah.
That's
you can
fact.
argue that anything is a fact. And that's basically
can and do.
90% of what this podcast is.
That's
10%,
science.
10% intro, 90% arguing fiction is fact.
And 15% mathematical mistakes.
I didn't make any mathematical mistakes.
I did by saying 15%. You see the layers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just annoying, actually, because I made it perfect.
You thought I was putting mathematical mistakes on you.
Yeah.
Where I was just taking it all on me.
I see.
But the fact that you didn't notice that made you defensive and ruined the whole math gag.
I thought that I might have accidentally done like a cheeky 90-20 or something.
No, I was just jumping in the deep end. I was taking a hit for the team, but didn't work.
Well, you can never be 100% sure.
No.
May
but
as
you
well
can
be
be.
115.
That's right. Look, when last we left Donny B, and I've got to say, look, since I started summarising the cricket, we are absolutely burning through
I know, right? I've
the
been
life
looking.
of Don Barradman.
Bro, what page are we on?
It's
I'll guess. You were about to say 4, so I'm going to say 461.
Oh, absolutely right. I feel like you must have seen it.
Wait, are you joking?
461. But
No, I didn't see that. I actually pulled that out of my ass.
look, to be fair, we're actually technically, we're on page 460. But we are open to page 461
I'm not even
as well.
joking. I actually did not see the page.
Well, then you are the chosen
I
one.
was going to be like, haha, 469.
Yeah.
But then I was like...
Rein it in.
Nah, I'm going to actually try and guess this.
Yeah.
And I was like, 61. I actually pulled that out of nowhere.
Well done you.
I'm not even joking.
I'm
Like, I'm not even
If
joking.
it is a joke, it's a bad joke.
I'm like, that was for real. I only got the 400.
You might not recover by the end of this episode from the fact that you just guessed.
And because, like, you didn't really believe me. Like,
and that's...
yeah.
We're not in sync in terms of
Yeah.
what we're trying to accomplish
Yeah.
and how we're trying to impress each other in this episode.
That
It's
was-
just falling short.
Actually, that was a full guess. I only got the 400. I had a full 100 numbers that I could
I did.
pose
Yeah.
in.
You knew the
And
4.
I guessed 61.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we can't go back in time, and I can't be impressed in the way that you need me to be.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
But maybe this is what happens when you go rogue on introduction. You can't be in sync with each other.
Yeah.
Maybe the succinct
don't know.
introduction gets us locked into the mood.
I think so as well because it just bang bang. You
Yeah,
know?
if I'd done the proper introduction, then we'd be like, I'd make my maths gag. You'd be like, ha ha, and you'd be like 4 6 on but what the hell?
How have you done that?
So lesson well learned.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, but now I know there's consequences.
Yeah. Those are the consequences of breaking the window.
That's right. So I owe the glazier a fair pretty penny, and I'm not in sync with my podcast partner / daughter in that order of importance.
Yeah.
So lesson learned. So I definitely think next episode, back to basics.
Yeah.
For the sake of synergy.
But you see, you say that, and then you go
I
and
know.
smash
But
another
I'm like,
window.
but maybe if we were even more rogue, maybe I just wasn't rogue enough. We'll see. But we left Donny B at his lowest ebb,
Sorry.
quite literally. That's what I was saying. So we're motoring through this book now. We're in the 400s, and once you start cutting out all the boring cricket stuff, his life just flies on by.
Yeah.
And you actually, once you cut out all the glitz and glamour of his cricketing innings and the overarching narrative of the him out there in the middle racking up runs, you start to see the myth behind the man behind the myth. No, the man behind the myth.
The man behind the myth.
We don't like what we see.
No.
With each passing chapter of this man's life, we are starting to see some real cracks in the facade.
Yeah, he's giving L energy.
So he's at his lowest ebb, or so he would have us believe.
Yeah.
As he,
Not kid. He's a fully grown adult.
He is a grown
he
adult.
almost died. Why is this his lowest ebb?
Yes, but did he almost die? I feel like he's willing to
Yeah.
fake a near-death experience to achieve his aims.
Yeah.
If it suits him. Because as we found out, he joined up in the army when his country needed him most. First of all, he played cricket for his country when his country needed him most.
Yeah.
And then he joined up. He joined the Air Force. And then after just a little bit of hard training, just a couple
Not
of
for
days
me.
out there
Not for me, coach.
on the grind, all of a sudden he got every very difficult to diagnose condition.
Yeah.
Very conveniently difficult to diagnose. Cannot confirm or deny through any tests whether he has this. Got to take his word for it.
Yeah.
Got to take the Don's word for it. He came down with just about every ailment you can get until it got to the point where they said, "You're not. Get out of the army.
Yeah.
Get out of the Air Force. You're not welcome. You're too sick. You're too poorly." And he and Jezebel went back to the farm to recuperate while the rest of the country, got around the business of, fighting wars and supporting the troops, etc. They just went back and laid low so that Don could recover from his mystery illnesses.
And that's where we left him.
And his new kid, eh?
Yeah, so he's got
Two kids?
First, he's got 2 kids now. John Bradman, aka Little Jimmy,
Oh, John.
and Shirley Jane
Shirley
Bradman.
Jane. Lovely name.
No, aka necessary because slaying the name game.
Mm-hmm.
So Little Jimmy and Shirley Jane, basically being 100% looked after by Jezebel,
Yeah.
Don's wife, who is also looking after Don, who refuses to get out of bed most days. I imagine.
Yeah.
Because why would he?
He's at his lowest ebb.
Lowest ebb.
Have you ever been at your lowest ebb, Dad?
Mate, I don't reckon I've even come close.
Yeah.
I rarely ebb. I don't even. I'm always high tide. It's high tide for me, non-stop. But when the ebb comes, well, look out.
Ayo.
It's got to be coming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just tidal fact.
You can't escape the ebb.
I mean, I should stop trying to hold off the ebb. I think I've been building fancy dam walls and stuff, trying to keep the ebb at bay. And eventually, those dams are going to falter.
That's gonna hit you hard.
I'm going to ebb like no one's business.
Yeah.
So stand back.
Yeah.
I'll try to give some warning signs, some safe words, some cue words when the ebb's coming, because you can't live a life ebbless. Can you?
No.
And yet, when have I ebbed?
I can't name one time.
Couldn't name an ebb. Maybe little eblets. I
Yeah.
must have had eblets.
What
I've
about-
had eblets.
What about a high ebb?
High tides? Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. Jumping on, bebopping and scatting.
Yeah.
I mean, the tide. Can it get any higher? Oh, it seems to be able to.
Yeah.
That's just global warming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
For some people, it's bad. It's bad when the sea levels rise. But for me, that just means the mood gets better because it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
But look, stand back when the ebb comes,
Mm-hmm.
which is now. Oh, gee, that came on sudden. It came on real sudden. I'm acting. I'm acting.
Give him his Oscar.
That was a little bit of acting. It was a lot more potent for Millie, who got the facial expressions.
I got it all, yeah.
The bodily commitment to the low ebb.
Yeah.
But Yonky Doodlers, just take it.
Got to take his word for it. Like you got
Yeah.
to take my word for getting the 461.
Yeah.
Because I did.
Yeah. I nailed low ebb.
Yeah.
Physically and emotionally.
Mentally.
Mentally, I was faking it. I lacked credibility.
Oh yeah, but it was. Yeah.
Good enough.
yeah.
It was good. It was adequate.
Yeah.
It was adequate.
You made me believe it wasn't on mental level.
So Donny B, back to Donny B. So Bradman made a partial recovery thanks largely to the encouragement and nursing skills of his wife.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
She just heavy lifting.
Saved his life twice now.
Not one part of his story exists without the hard graft of Jezebel
Silly.
Bradman just making it happen for the Don.
If I went back in time and like removed Jesse
Yeah.
from the picture,
Yeah. Donless.
no Don.
Yeah, no
This
Don.
podcast we would be doing someone else.
Yeah, 100%.
There wouldn't cricket would be non-existent anymore.
No. I'd be spending my summers watching hockey.
Yeah.
How good's field hockey? I'd be saying. And that'd be a different life we'd be living.
Yeah.
I'd be at my lowest ebb. Early in 1942, the family returned to Adelaide, gave up the farm life. Bradman once again took up his work of handling clients at Harry Hodgett's, back on the broke. Over the next year, his health gradually improved, but not enough to play cricket. Still poorly.
Not ready to get back.
Despite efforts by the club cricket to cajole him back to the crease.
Whoa.
His back was improving marginally because he had spasms,
Yeah.
I'll remind you. And he managed to play some gentle golf in the summer of
that's
1942-43.
gentle golf.
I think that's all he did all summer.
Yeah.
You going to go to work today? Nah, got to play some gentle golf. Takes all day. All day. One hole, all day.
I feel like golf would be a bit bad on the back.
That's
How
what I-
gentle is he going?
Well, if you can't play cricket, you can't play golf.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you really got to swing. Maybe mini golf.
I think he's playing mini golf.
I think he's gentle golf. He was too embarrassed to say mini golf, so he said gentle golf.
gentle golf. He's definitely out there at the putt-putt range.
Yeah.
Oh, my ball got stuck in the windmill again. Oh, it's hard to be the Don. So he's out there playing mini golf the entire summer of 1942-43 while Jesse's running the broking firm.
Doesn't seem like a low ebb anymore.
No,
does it?
he's getting back. A little bit of mini golf
Seems
helps
pretty
everyone.
Good life.
Bradman worked assiduously at Hodgetts and was rewarded assiduously, I believe, means you're taking great care. You're going to effort.
Okay.
You really giving it a red hot crack in a good way.
So Jesse?
I think while he's out at golf,
Yeah.
Jezebel's definitely put on the Bradman wig and his work, and they're all like, Bradman, Don has never worked this well. Whenever Bradman's hair looks like that, top-notch work. So Jezebel's definitely going into work, and then this means that on the 11th of May 1943, he was elected a member of the Adelaide Stock Exchange, despite only being an employee and not a partner in Hodgetts' firm. This meant Bradman could, if he wished, operate and trade on the exchange in his own right. So Jezebel has got him a sneaky little, he's gone up the ranks.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, without any... Again, I feel like this might be people looking after Don Bradman.
Yeah, I think so.
They're like, will everything just be a lot more popular and everyone will make a lot more money if we just get Don Bradman out here on the stockbroker floor? Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
So he's, without earning it, risen through the ranks of the broking firms. And then on the 30th of April 1945, so look, a couple of years later, the war is all but over. Hitler's done himself in the bunker in Berlin. And on the 7th of May, the German military forces surrendered. The war in Europe was over. And so just when the future was looking bright, the Bradmans ran into a problem that shocked them with its suddenness. So the war's over.
Okay.
But in July 1945, Harry Hodgetts' broking firm went bankrupt overnight.
Oh, dear. Not good.
I think Bradman must have been going into work
Yeah.
instead of Jezebel, and he absolutely cocked it up. He absolutely
Confirmed.
ruined the numbers, and they're like, bankrupt. He'd come to South Australia in 1934 to establish a career away from cricket, which would offer him and his family security. And now, as he was struggling to regain his health, that security had evaporated. Dark times once more. Is this your lowest ebb?
Whoa.
Hodgetts had been unlucky.
Yeah.
He had invested in a hotel complex in Darwin, which had been bombed by the Japanese during World War II.
Dear.
Ba-bow. Bad investment. Guess who recommended that? Don Bradman. Get into hotels, mate, he said.
No.
Harry, hotels are safe as houses. They're houses, but they're hotels. What could be safer than that?
He's been playing Monopoly and he's like, I really like the red ones.
How do you win Monopoly, Harry? You invest in hotels.
So right.
So why aren't you investing in hotels? All right. And Darwin, it's hot up there. People love getting into a hotel in hot weather.
Indeed.
It's like the Florida of Australia.
Yeah.
So invest. And Harry's like, well, Don, if you reckon.
Yeah.
And Don said, I reckon. And he says, do you want to check with Jezebel? And he's like, nah.
I've got this one.
Nah. I know hotels.
Yeah.
Anyway, it didn't work out for Harry.
No.
And then an agent of Harry Hodgetts in Broken Hill had misappropriated funds.
Hill.
An agent in Broken Hill. I think that was Don Bradman. I think
Yeah.
Don Bradman stole some money. Hodgetts had foolishly used investors' funds to cover his losses. Well, that's not foolish. That's just illegal, Hodgetts. This is where I'm saying this is where you're just stealing clients' money to cover your ass, Harry Hodgetts. Again, I think that was probably Don's advice.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got money, Harry. It's not your money. But if you
Money
need
is
money
money.
to fill a hole, just use the money that people are giving you for other things.
Yeah.
Use it for that thing. And Harry's like, I don't know.
Remember
Don
a
said, who's the Don? Who's the Don? And so Harry's like, all right, I'll give it a go. And so listening to Don on both accounts has proved foolhardy. And as anyone who knows anything about finance could have suspected, his broking business spiraled downwards and
He
collapsed.
put the broken to Broken Hill.
He
Yeah. Woo.
Then court documents filed in the Adelaide Bankruptcy Court showed Hodgetts' deficiencies at £88,854, with some 238 unsecured creditors, and debts totaling £102,926.
Whoa.
Bradman himself was owed £726.
Whoa.
So, look, it's all gone pear-shaped.
Yeah.
And in tiny Adelaide, the fall from grace of Harry Hodgetts was it was a tragedy for all concerned. It shook the town to its very foundation. The police fraud squad investigated the collapse, resulting in criminal proceedings against Hodgetts.
Oh, dear.
He took the rap for Don.
Yeah.
He was eventually found guilty of fraud and sentenced to 5 years in jail.
Whoa.
Through no fault of his own, Bradman, as someone who handled Hodgetts' clients and whose name helped attract business, bore some of the stigma of Hodgetts' problems in the ultra-conservative parochial city. So, look, this book is trying to say, hey, it wasn't his fault, but he was there, he was part of the problem, so he bore a little bit of people going, I hear Don Bradman might not be the stockbroker they make him out to be. He made some pretty bad... Yeah, extra, read all about it. Don Bradman caught up in sticky situation. Like, oh, I made it all the way to New York. The streets of New York are all talking about it. So this is bad news for Donny B.
Yeah.
A bit of... The shine has come off the Don, and he's not playing cricket anymore. And I'm sure people are also like... And he also faked a litany of illnesses to get out of... being in the Air Force, did you hear? I reckon the mob's coming for him.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to get back into cricket to get them to like him again.
Yeah, but, however, all of this adversity created a new opportunity. Urged by friends and encouraged by one Jezebel Bradman, Bradman considered opening his own broking firm.
Okay. So basically he set this whole thing up, eh?
Oh, this is starting to reek of a classic Don Bradman shenanigan.
What is going on?
It was a decision that had to be made quickly.
Okay.
Because there were other offers. Everyone's coming at him with offers. Come and be a journalist. Come and do this.
Yeah.
And Jezebel's like, I don't want to write your journal entries anymore. I much prefer pretending to be you and being a stockbroker. So she's keen to start the stockbroking business. And he also wanted to keep his options open to maybe play cricket again in the future. He hadn't played for 4 years.
Oh, goodness.
And he was 36 years old now. His back problems had not been totally fixed, and he was worried about that. But if he took a journalism job, there was still the rule that if you were a journalist, you couldn't... That mean you wouldn't be allowed to play cricket.
I see.
For some reason. They're like, if you get a contract writing about cricket, you can't play cricket because we don't want to blur the lines. So he thought to keep his slender options open of playing cricket in the future, he should focus on the stockbroking business. So this meant long hours and little rest for poor Donny Bradman. But the unstoppable Jezebel took a great deal of the workload
we know.
and helped run the new firm.
We know.
On top of bringing up little Jimmy and Shirley Jane. So every single thing that comes along.
Now she's getting the credit. Now they're like, I guess we have to mention that she did do some work.
Yeah, long hours and little rest for who? Not for you, Don. You're still out there playing. All right,
gentle golf.
A bit of gentle golf on the weekends while Jezebel's running the firm and looking after little Jimmy and Shirley Jane.
They're probably putting the kids to work as well. Let's be real.
Now, Shirley Jane had been found to have cerebral palsy.
Oh, my goodness. What?
While the disability did not affect her mental faculties and was not severe, it added to the Bradman's caring responsibilities. Did it add to Don's caring responsibilities? Yeah. I don't think it did. I think it just was Jezebel that had just a little extra workload on top of every other thing she was doing. Don, can you come home? Shirley Jane really needs you. I've got 8 holes to go on mini putt-putt. I'm stuck on the windmill. All right, Don, whatever. Gradually, Don Bradman and Co. got underway.
Co.
Yeah, Co. Yeah, Jezebel, the person running the firm. They opened a small suite of offices in Adelaide. It reminded visitors of a tidy solicitor's office. Oh, okay. And they thought Bradman looked the part from the beginning. He looks great. They just walk in and like, oh, look at him. He looks like a stockbroker. Oh, he's nailed that. His desk was meticulously neat because he did no work at that desk.
Yeah.
And reflected his logical and uncluttered mind. He's got nothing to think about.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to think about. He soon acquired a reputation as an intelligent, trustworthy broker who gave sound investment advice despite the calamity of Hodgett's disgrace. Many of Hodgett's old clients drifted back to Bradman's broking firm.
See, if that was me, I wouldn't do that.
So who made out like a bandit from Harry Hodgett's demise?
It's giving sus.
Our Don Bradman. The great Don Bradman,
Yeah.
whose whole legacy has been built on a foundation of lies, has now taken down the man who took him under his wing,
Yeah.
made him who he was to this day, with the help of Jezebel,
Yeah.
who was the real wind beneath his wings, who was his wings.
Yeah.
She was the whole bird and the wind.
Yeah.
He was just looking on, hoping for the best. He was on the golf course going, there's that bird.
Look at that bird.
That bird sure can fly. Every now and then he'd try to hit it with a golf ball. She's like, don't hit me with your golf ball. And then he's Harry, who's, done nothing but look after Don Bradman in his many guises, has been taken down by Don's terrible business advice.
Yeah.
Harry Hodgetts goes to jail and Don Bradman starts his own broker firm and gets all Harry's clients.
Steals them all.
This is outrageous. Someone needs to look into this.
Yeah.
People, I don't think anyone paid it any attention.
I love how the authors of this, he's like, yeah, but also Don Bradman, eh?
Yeah. Really glossing over what is quite clearly a dodgy situation.
It wasn't his fault.
No,
I reckon the author of this had a thing for Don Bradman.
Oh.
He was like, "Oh, how good's this guy?
100%.
He was really handsome doing it as well."
Never has there been a more handsome, good-looking, well-suited, uncluttered-minded stockbroker as our Don Bradman. This book kind of paints it as like a feel-good story. It's like, out of the ashes of the terrible calamity that Harry Hodgetts caused all by himself, Don Bradman has managed to rebuild a life using, all of the things that he knew would happen when he brought Harry Hodgetts down. Read between the lines. It's all there. I mean, I knew that when you deep dive into the life of Don Bradman, you're going to find out what I suspected was that people didn't get along with him as much, as the national, hero worship would suggest.
Not that he was an actual criminal.
Not that he was getting out of the army with fake illnesses. Not that he was sending his wife in to do all the hard work in almost every facet of his life.
Yeah.
And not that he was bringing down people
Do you reckon?
in cricket and in business
Now that this
to
is
suit
all-
his own ends.
Now that this is all coming uncovered,
Entertaining women overseas
right?
and doing himself a mischief.
Now that this is getting all uncovered, do you remember Archie Jackson?
Yeah.
Do you remember how he just fell off the side of the earth
Archie Jackson,
because he was so good at cricket?
Who many were saying, I mean, if anything, he's probably more exciting and has more potential than Don
Yeah.
Bradman. And then all of a sudden, suddenly he's afflicted by all these problems. Can't get fit. Can't get. I wonder who did a little
Poisoning?
a little research into how to cause boils in others. Yeah. I question definitely cold case on Archie Jackson. I'd get you if any amateur Sherlock Holmes out there, just look at the clues.
I think, it's really sus.
Because there is definitely some Archie Jackson blood on Don Bradman's hands.
I'm worried for Fingleton. I'm worried for him, mate.
Fingleton's definitely got the dirt on Don Bradman.
Yeah.
But
I
how
feel
long
like
can
there's-
how long can he
I feel
dodge
like
the
there's
bullet?
something going on between them that's like Don can't take him out. He's like has to keep him around.
I
for
think
some
Fingleton
reason.
knows that Don Bradman took down Archie Jackson.
So why wouldn't he just do the same thing
To Fingleton.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think there's if anything happens to me,
Yeah.
this envelope will get released to the press. The press won't do anything.
they love him.
No, he's untouchable.
Yeah.
And so Fingleton, watch out. Watch out. The case of the dead Archie Jackson is definitely worth solving, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do it by yourself, Fingleton. And so, look, so that's going well. The Early in August 1945, the US abruptly ended the Pacific War by dropping 2 atomic bombs on Japan. Classic way to end a war.
Casual.
Yeah, just a casual bomb drop. Yeah. Just big ones. Just atomic ones.
Whatever.
Yeah. Should we just drop one? I reckon 2 might do the job. Why drop one and you can drop 2?
Woo!
That's like an exclamation point. 1's a full stop.
Yeah.
2's an exclamation point.
So facts.
And so they made their exclamation point, and everyone went, well, that's the end of that war.
Yeah.
We don't want any more of that nonsense. This is going to get silly real quick if we keep this up. And so guess that means they want to play some cricket again. Maybe they do. Who knows?
What's he found?
So now there was nothing to stop life returning to normal. Among other things, cricket was back on the national agenda and also on Bradman's mind. On the 13th of August, the South Australian Cricket Association elected Bradman as one of its 3 representatives on the Board of Control, ironically, to fill the vacancy left by Harry Hodgetts.
What? Wait, who was Harry Hodgetts again?
Harry Hodgetts was the head of the broking firm, but he was also on the South Australian Cricket Board, and so he'd been the mover and shaker who had got Bradman offered him a job at his firm, and he was the one who made Bradman captain of South Australia, Harry Hodgetts. And so now Harry Hodgetts, who's gone to jail, has lost his spot on the board to be replaced by the very man who's taken all of his clients, who brought him down from the inside, and now has his seat on the South Australian Cricket Board.
Do you reckon he's getting this information while he's in jail and he's like, what? What do you mean?
He told me to invest in hotels.
Yeah. And they think he's going insane in the prison. They're like, this guy really doesn't like Don Bradman. Like, he keeps on like shouting about him and stuff. Yeah. It's like, whoa.
Bradman, more like bad man. I mean, he must be going absolutely livid.
This is so wild, bro.
So unbelievable. So Harry Hodgetts has lost everything, and it's all been handed to Don Bradman. There was further irony in this development. He was now a member of the board with which he had been in a well-publicised conflict on 3 occasions. All right, so that's fine. 4 years after the onset of his back problems in 1941, the 37-year-old Bradman had re-established himself with Jesse's great assistance. Yeah, no duh.
Yeah, we get that.
To the stage where he could consider picking up a bat again. He was concerned that his ability might have withered with time. The only way to test this was to take up the challenge of a first-class game and see if the old skills were still with him.
Whoa.
Well, that's all the time we've got.
That seems like a great place to end.
The controversy, the dark side of the Don, the criminal activities that have gone unnoticed by the greater Australian public, but are so clear to anyone with even a passing interest.
I feel like the author, he's like 2 seconds away from being like,
wait a minute.
That's a bit sus, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway.
This was ironic that this happened because of this.
This was a bit silly.
Worked out well for Don about this. But
it's like, buddy, like, it's a bit all too perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, and Don Bradman often got a duck.
Yeah.
When he
Ayo, he did.
Like more often than people talk about. Heaps of ducks. Mm-hmm. No one's talking about the ducks. No. And yet, it's a duck.
You said it.
So, mate, once you peek behind the curtain, you can't. There's no peeking back. There's no peeking duck. There's no turning back on how we feel right now about this man who once held in high regard, now scraping the bottom.
Let's go back in time. We had what's his name, Ned Kelly.
Ned Kelly,
and we're like, I mean,
criminal. Well acknowledged criminal.
Bad man.
Yeah.
Like, shot some people, killed some people dead.
Yeah.
You know, but also like...
But good heart.
Yeah, I feel like he was like, kind of slay. Like, bad man. Yeah. Definitely bad man. But we found out kind of fun things about him.
Fun things. He committed crimes in a fun way and committed crimes to help the people around him.
Yeah, we feel like the cops and like the people running the place didn't like him very much. Yeah. But just your average Joe was like, kind of slave. Like,
Yeah.
he held us hostage, but, like,
Yeah.
we also had fun. So,
Yeah.
what? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts.
But then we had Nancy Wake, right?
Yep.
We feel like she was doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, good stuff. And then towards the end,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, that's kind of...
It's true. So we're going through the spectrum. So Ned Kelly was the full seen as a criminal. Public
Yeah.
identity is criminal. So he's on the criminal spectrum.
Yeah.
Did criminal things, but at the other end is the most likable. Like,
Yeah.
and you saw where he was coming from and the effect it had on the people, on the nation.
Yeah.
And how he's viewed now.
Yeah.
Nancy Wake's in the middle. She did criminal stuff for a good cause, but
Yeah.
mainly to serve her own purposes. She was doing it more from a selfish point. Whereas
Yeah.
Ned seemed to be more looking out for his family, looking out for his
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
looking out for society as a whole,
Yeah.
trying to make a stand for what he saw as wrongdoings
Yeah.
and an injustice in society. Whereas Nancy was, yes, she was fighting the good fight, but mainly because it suited her.
Yeah.
She wanted to get back to drinking champagne and living the high life.
Exactly.
And she was willing to be a bit of a dick about it if necessary.
Yeah. And then turn full dick.
And then
after
when
the
there
war.
was no longer a good fight to fight, she was happy to just be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had...
Don Bradman, who was never seen as a criminal in any way, was held in high regard. Cricketing legend, Australian national icon, but I'm starting to suspect was more of a self-centered
Yeah.
criminal.
We're hearing that lots of people
stain.
that worked with him on, like, in cricket and other things,
No time for him.
didn't really like him.
No.
It was kind of cold.
Don't cross the Don. And we're also learning that his legacy was mainly built on the fact that it suited people to
He was popular.
to bolster him.
Yeah.
He was a figurehead that allowed a lot of people to make a lot of money
Yeah.
if he was allowed to continue to make a lot of runs in front of a lot of people.
Indeed.
And so this changed a lot of things. And now we find that he was willing to go full dark side, full criminal mastermind in order to achieve his ends.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Don Bradman. But I look forward to seeing where your criminal intent goes. Hopefully they do an underbelly Don Bradman.
What does that mean?
It's a television series where they investigate criminal, criminal activities of famous families and famous people. They haven't done an underbelly
Maybe
Ned
we
Kelly
need to
yet.
report him.
Should we dob him in?
Yeah.
We've got some suspicions. You might want to look into the Archie Jackson cold case.
Listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Talk all about it.
We have made some stunning conclusions.
Yeah.
And anyone who cannot see what we're seeing is refusing to face facts.
Don apologist. I'm not Don apologist.
Yeah, wake up, sheeple. So we are going to dig deeper into
We're going to dig deep and find it all out. Hey, yo!
That's right. Normally we're just trying to find out fun facts. Little did we know we'd uncover a criminal nest.
Yeah.
Just
This is wild.
a murderous web
Yeah.
of intrigue.
I thought maybe we'd find out that he pushed a kid into a creek, but he pulled him out again. All fun and games.
Nah, Don Bradman.
He sent that man to jail.
Yeah, he killed
And then
Archie Jackson.
He killed Archie Jackson. He sent that man to jail, took all of his people.
Yeah. Took his job, took his business, took his seat on the board of cricket. Shame on you. Mm-hmm. And you know what they call the head of the mafia families in America?
What do they call them?
The Dons. I don't think that's an accident.
Oh, can we start this conspiracy? Can we? I mean, we've already started it. Let's be real. But like take to the next level.
I mean,
let's get some disciples.
Yonky Doodlers, this podcast is about to pivot hard. All right. Think a little bit of Yonks Ago, but more crossed with Only Murders in the Building sort of vibe, where we start drawing red threads and start finding rock hard, barely substantiated evidence to back up our fairly outrageous claims in a way that is irrefutable.
Yeah.
I mean, come on board, Yonky Doodlers. It all starts, if we remember, in the next episode of Yonks Ago!
Beautifully ended.
Thank you.